Welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of our 773 engine removal. Started out as diesel in the fuel, went to rocker arm won't move, went to pieces of lifters in the oil pan. She's getting a brand new engine. Casey Liddell is hauling it down right now. We're gonna go ahead, get all the tubes pulled off, get all the oil drained, get this thing ready for a new heart.
All right, so as you guys saw in the first part, we already have the front cover pulled and the front engine support pulled. It is chained up to here. We've gone ahead, we already have all the cooler lines pulled off for this side. You come down here, we have the hydraulic tank draining. We have our hose running from here into the service truck, and we're pumping it into the holding tank. What's next?
Well, once we get everything drained, we're gonna pull probably all the torque converter lines. We gotta pull starter, we gotta pull air conditioning, exhaust, and then we gotta figure out how we're gonna pick this thing. So this truck is a 10,000 pound crane. However, that's 10,000 pounds right here straight up. That engine weighs 6,500, and with it in the shop, we're gonna have to boom out and extend. So we're gonna be right at the limit of our crane. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a little redneck here, and we're gonna grab a 365 excavator sitting way there in the back. You probably saw it in that scraper video. I think we're gonna fire that thing up, drag this truck forward a little bit outside of the shop, and then use that thing to rip the motor out of this truck. Probably a lot safer. I'll bet you the bucket on that 365 weighs as much as that engine. All right, so here's where we're at with the truck so far. Crawling right here. We have the hydraulics are all drained. These lines are gonna be replaced. This one started leaking here pretty good. We drained all the fluid into those barrels and then sucked it out like you saw in the previous clip here. We have drive shaft unhooked. Let me see if I can get a better light up in here. Pretty good. Okay, drive shaft unhooked. We have another PTO shaft up there we gotta get pulled out. So Robert has got all of the electrical lines pulled off of the starter. We have pretty much some intake stuff to get done. Once we get the intake pulled off, we have the exhaust to get pulled off, and then I think we're hooking up chains, hooking up the 365, or we'll try it with the service truck. Get this engine yarded out of here because Casey is on the way with our new engine, so we need to be ready to rock. We're close, almost there. Here we go. Oh, come on, baby. Okay. Genius plan here. We are going to manually air the brakes up on this truck. We're going to push it outside with the brakes released, yank the motor out with our excavator, and then hopefully air the brakes back up, push it back inside, close the door, done, bam. That's the goal. So, plan is, here's the fitting right here. We're gonna plug her in, just like that. We have the valve open. We're gonna turn the compressor on, see if this truck airs up. So I'm gonna hop in the truck. I'll have you kick the compressor on. We'll make sure that we're building air. All right, kick it on. Yep. Yeah, we're good. Keep going. Got the chain hooked up. We're gonna go right here to this bar. It should move super easy. You're gonna be up there in the cabin, you'll run the brakes. You should have fully operational brakes right now. There you go, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna start pulling, and if anything goes wrong, just scream and yell and flail your arms. How about that? Okay. Deal. Let's do this thing. Giant storm heading in, and we're pulling this thing outside. Let's gonna be great. We're gonna use, get this thing outside the shop, use that 365, should be able to pull that motor straight up. Way safer than using that service truck, because that is a big motor, especially with the torque converter attached to the back of it. All right, little update here. So we couldn't get the brakes to fully release, and I started looking on CAT's service information system. There's a little spool right here. So what I think needs to happen is we need to tap this spool to the left, and that's gonna do something magical with the retarder to where when we pull the retarder lever, it's gonna release the brakes when we have air hooked up to it. So we're gonna give that a shot, see if we can knock this spool right here into left-hand or forward position, and that should do something with the retarder so we can pull it and manually set and release the brakes. So we're gonna give that a shot and see what it does. All right, update for you guys. Engine is ready to pull. The truck is pulled outside. The clip before me, you'll see like we were getting the brakes all aired up and juiced. We finally figured out how to do it. Got the truck rolled outside. 365 is over there in the back. We gotta pull this hood right here, and then we're gonna be hooking up chains and straps, and we should be able to yard this motor out.
All right, so I'm standing on top of the motor here. Motor mount bolts are loose. We're gonna start lifting up on there. All right, so we're still out here pulling this motor. All right, up.
All right, big updates. 365 pulled on through. The engine is out of the truck. Super awesome. That was a severe pain in the ass. And then this guy shows up.
I brought you an engine.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully it runs.
I hope it does too. It's supposed to be brand new, so we should have some good luck here. Rigging worked out pretty good. We probably could have choked this one a little bit or done something different here to have a better angle, but we got it out. It's not midnight yet, so that's real good. And we got one big giant cavity in this truck. So now we can go ahead, we can rejuice these brakes, bring it out here, wash everything up, get new hoses, and get that new engine that Casey brought down for us. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good job, Robert.
Yeah.
Well, it's the next morning and we are still working on that water truck. So last night you guys saw we got the motor yoinked right out of that thing. Here's the new motor. Brand new Cat Reman from Wheeler Machinery. Has everything we need to get this old water truck up and running again. Super excited. It came with all of the little trinkets and doodads. Came with the air compressor, came with your governor, came with all the wiring harness that you need, all the belts, alternator, AC compressor, and the starter. Now what we're gonna go do now is we have Martin and Robert pulling all of the hydraulic lines off of this truck. So we're getting all these old hydraulic lines, everything. Oh, we're making the Exxon Valdez down here too. That's good. Let me see if I can rectify this. Whoa. Rectify the situation a little bit. There we go. How about that? Okay. Nailed it. So we're pulling all these lines off. All new hoses for this truck for better reliability and for the fact that I don't want to change these hoses with that motor in there. It's going to be almost nearly impossible. So I'd rather have all brand new stuff, not worry about it. So that's our goal right now. So the truck is outside now. We got Martin giving this thing a real good steam clean. Another update for you guys. We got most of the hydraulic lines pulled off this thing. Where's that truck at? It's over here. So all these hydraulic lines we pulled off. We're gonna get all new ones made at the local cat dealer. That way, we have way better reliability. Hopefully a lot less leaks that we got to deal with in the future when we're renting this thing out. All these hydraulic lines are being replaced, brand new. Should be a real decent truck when we're done. So me and Robert, we're gonna head to town now, head into Elko, and get all those new hydraulic lines and get some supplies for out here, because the weather is definitely taking a little bit of a turn. The torque converter is mated up to the new engine, and we're torquing all the bolts down right now. We're getting them marked for every bolt that we get torqued. We checked the oil in here, no metal, no debris, so I think we're good to go on this used torque converter. We got the wiring harness is all good on this thing, so we went and we had to clip this on off the old engine, because the end right here was different. So we have the new old wiring harness back on the new engine. That's where we're at right now. Once we get that done, we're waiting on our hydraulic hoses for the truck inside the shop. Once we get those hydraulic hoses, we'll be good to put those on and then stuff this engine in here. So we grinded through the night on this truck. Right now, we have Martin dumping in the hydraulic fluid. we've got about 30 gallons to put in this tank. All of the boots are hooked up on the radiator system. So all we gotta do is pretty much fill up fluids now, make sure we nut and bolt check a few more times, and then clean our giant mess up. And we should be good to fire this thing right back up. Well, here's all the coolant that we used. Ended up having to go rob a bunch of coolant out of those machines over there. But now all that's left, we did a nut and bolt check. We're gonna start cranking her over, see if it fires up. Fire in the hole. Pre-lube.
Watch under.
Okay. We finally got the truck to turn over with the key. We had a little bit of a wiring debacle here. So new engine had a new starter on it and the wiring was different between the two starters. Ended up putting the old starter on it, and that takes a double solenoid on there. So we ended up messing with the wiring down there. Got the wiring figured out on this thing. Now it's gonna crank over with the key. I'm gonna prime it one more time, and we should have this thing fired up and running underneath its own power. Super excited. I'm gonna go up there right now off camera and get that primer all pumped up. So I did put a gauge here too. It's right by Robert.
What the
We put an
fuck
oil
did
pressure
you do
gauge
to that thing, homie?
on the side of those oil filters. I'm gonna go and just check the oil because we've been cranking it over a bit. So let's check our oil really quick, make sure we're all good.
That's the random one. Yeah, you guys unhook that shit. It's a nut off the other starter.
Ooh.
I just need a smaller nut.
So it's really clear. You can see oil right there. Right on the engine start. Pump this up to where we're at it. Okay. Pumped up. All right, good to go. We bringing the Thunder. Noise you're hearing in the back, that's our welder. Got the welder hooked up to the batteries, keeping them charged.
I like to make power.
Yep. All right, let us know when you're ready to go. You ready, Joe? I'm ready. Okay, bring the Thunder, Robert. Hold up. Let's give the starter a rest for a second. Were we building any oil pressure, Joe?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
It won't build until it actually strokes.
Well, I would think it should. We'll see what happens. Bring it again. Robert, bring it again. Get off the starter, it's running. Good. Kill it. Hey, kill it. I didn't see the oil pressure thing come up. No, I think it did. It's just this gauge is so big.
It's barely gonna be on there, yeah.
So I'm gonna have him fire it up again. You watch it real close.
Yep.
Just make sure that it's on. All right, fire it up. showing pressure on there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pull the stick and make sure we show. I checked the dipstick twice.
I don't have any gauges in here right now.
That's okay. Oh yeah. All good. She's got oil pressure. No leaks. That's what you call the sound of horsepower. All right, guys, well, there you have it. 773 has a brand new rebuilt engine in it. It went from a 0 blown up to a hero. Thing runs great. We're gonna go ahead, get the rest of the truck all buttoned up, and I'm gonna get my butt back up to Oregon and start helping those guys out up there. I will see you guys in the next video.